Bonjour. I am in Paris at the moment, and I'm in my tiny little Airbnb apartment that I booked, which is great. But that's not what I am going to talk about today, because I'm going to do a BusAbout review. So I've been on BusAbout through Europe for almost about just over 2 months, I think. And 4 days ago, I finished. I got off the bus in Paris at the hostel, the recommended hostel, and that was my official end of BusAbout. It is now, I'm going to do it. It is with sadness that I am taking off my orange BusAbout wristband. It's done. I'm done. Yeah, so I'm a little bit sad that, I am sad. I'm sad that BusAbout is done, because I loved BusAbout. It was perfect. It was completely perfect for me. It was exactly what I needed and what I needed to get myself around and do everything that I wanted to do. And it was just so easy. It was just so easy to do everything that I wanted. I'll explain what I did. So I was on the south and west loops of BusAbout, and I booked both loops, which meant that I could get on in a specific section and then just like do the full loop, and then if I wanted to, I could repeat that loop, and I could just keep looping around. Because I did south and west, I had 2 loops that I could just keep going around and doing. So when I first got on, I got on in Rome on the South Loop, and that was the fullest bus that I had. I think that was back in June, start of July, June. I think maybe it was the end of June. And that was pretty much the only really full bus that I had for the entire time that I'd been on BusAbout. So I got on in Rome, and I looped through, which was fantastic. And then I, a few weeks later, went back into Rome, continued looping back around, because Nice is the changeover point to go from south to west. So I went back into Nice. There's videos of me being in Nice and coming back in. And then I went from Nice into Barcelona, and I did Spain through BusAbout. Went all the way through, went up, and now I'm in Paris. So I finished that about 4 days ago, and I've been at the hostel for, I was at the hostel for a couple of days, the recommended hostel, St. Christopher's Canal, and it's a nice hostel, it's a good hostel, but now I am in an Airbnb apartment, because I just, after being 3.5 months on the road and sharing a room with people, I'm now an apartment, because it was really cheap and I was able to get it, and it's nice just for a week to be able to do all my stuff. So BusAbout is finished for me, and I'm already very nostalgic over it, and I am sad to leave BusAbout, because it's so easy and it makes everything so simple. So BusAbout, you get on and off the bus. That's it. That's it, very basically. I just get on. This isn't making very much sense. Sorry, it's early in the morning. I should have thought about this before I said it. Okay, so BusAbout is where the bus pulls in, you get on the bus, you go to whatever city you want, you book through the website, or you can book with the leaders on the bus, your segments that you want to do, when you want to go, and then you can choose to stay in whatever city or town or country you want for as long as you want, basically. And that's what I did. So I would get on the bus. Usually the bus leaves first thing in the morning, if you're leaving in the morning, at 8 AM. So it leaves the recommended hostel. So it's got all of the information for where the hostels are on the website. I stayed probably half the time in the recommended hostel and half the time in my own accommodation, depending on what the price was, how far other accommodation was, what the recommended hostel was like. But yeah, it's about half-half, and often there will be probably about half the bus stay at the recommended, which is really good about BusAbout, is that when you get on, it's 90% Australians. We seem to be the ones that know about it. It's nice when you get someone from a different country on the bus that you can talk to. But yeah, it's 90% Australians, and I would say, from what I've experienced, probably 60–70% solo travellers, which is really good because solo travellers talk to other solo travellers because you're not in a couple, you're not with a group of friends, so you don't have anyone to immediately talk to. So there's so many people that I found that I talk to on the bus, but I talk to everyone, so that's just what I do. But it's nice in that when you get on the bus in the morning, you sit down, you can have a snooze for a couple of hours, because usually it's like at least a 3/4 day bus ride, so you'd leave at 8 AM. Usually at the earliest you'd probably get into a city at about 2 o'clock if it's your final destination. But there are places that they stop along the way. So you've got like a start destination and then a final destination where you have to stay that night. But in the middle there are smaller stops. So if you want to get off, like I'm just thinking the other day when we went from San Sebastian to Tours, you can get off in Biarritz, or you can get off, San Sebastian to Paris. You can get off in Biarritz, which is only like an hour and a half bus ride, or you can get off in Tours, which is a late afternoon, or the final bus is Paris, which is not until night. So that's really good. So you get on and have a bit of a snooze, and then you talk to the people around you if you want. If you don't want to, don't talk to them. That's fine. Like, there's rest stops every few hours where you get off, go to the toilet, get some food if you want. Just stop at the servo and get whatever. But yeah, it's like when I knew that there was a BusAbout day, or when I was really smack bang in the middle of BusAbout and I was going, and I'd spend 2, 3, 4 days in a city, and then I knew that BusAbout was what was leading me on. It was just easy, and it made everything really fun because I didn't have to worry about working out the train system, or working out the public buses, or working out how I was going to get there, what I was going to do when I got to the next location, where am I going to stay, what am I going to, like, how does it work, what is the things. BusAbout just does it all, and yeah, it just makes everything really so easy and fun. So yeah, you have a guide on the bus who I didn't come across any bad guides. They were all really great. Strangely, I've only had, I think, maybe 4 or 5 of the different guides for my entire 2 months or so of travelling on both loops, which for a bus system that goes every 2 days, I thought that I would see a huge amount of guides and be someone different every time. But no, I often had the same guides repeated over and over, which I was surprised at, but that's not a bad thing either, because I liked all the guides, and it's nice seeing a familiar face. Get up in the morning, get to the departure, and it's like, oh, I'm with you again, awesome. So that was really good. So you have a guide, and they explain the day, explain what's going to happen, and then they let you know when there's a rest stop coming up, how many rest stops there will be through the day, what time you expect to get to the city, and they come down and they will answer any questions that you might have. So there were some that I was talking to for a while. They're all really nice and great. You can just chat to them because you're on the bus all day, so you just chat with the guides, and they're full of information because they've been there and they've done it. So I talked with a couple of them about what I could do when I got into France, and I said that I wanted to hopefully go a little bit further through France, and I wanted to go to Bordeaux, and I wasn't sure where I could go from Paris because I'm here for a while and all these things. So there were there was a couple of them that I talked to that I was able to find out, oh, okay, so this is where you go, or you can take the train here, or this is kind of pricey, so maybe don't do that, or this town's not amazing, so maybe don't go there. And it's just really talking to another traveller. And yeah, so they're really good. So they answer any questions. For people that didn't have accommodation for that night, a sheet goes round at the start of the day, where you write down if you're staying in the recommended hostel. If you're not, then you don't worry about putting anything. But if you are, you write your name down so that everyone can be checked in as a group to try and make it a little bit faster, which is good. And then if you don't have any accommodation, you can write your name at the bottom of the sheet, and they will call the recommended hostel or the other hostels around to help you find a bed, which is really good because that's not only for people who like to be that free and not know where they're sleeping that night. It's also good if something's happened in your accommodation and suddenly it's been cancelled that morning and you don't have a bed that day. So the BusAbout leaders will help, or the guides will help find you a bed, and they're there to help, and it's really great. So they give you like a talk, an introduction when you come into the city, a bit of a history on it, where to go, what to do. When you get to a hostel, the guide is there. Once you've checked in, you can usually grab a map from the hostel, and I almost always would go up to the guide and ask, can you please put down on my map the places to go, the main places of interest, what's awesome, where this is. They often talk about great restaurants to go to, or cool parks and lunch places and the main attractions and things, and they'll write it down on the map for you, which I loved because I haven't been researching cities before I've gone in. Like in Madrid, I had no clue about Madrid before I went in, and so I got the map, which was great, and and the leader was able to just circle where it is, write down what it is, where cheap eat, eat cheap, and do all of these things. So that was it's great, and it's just so easy, and it's really nice. I find when there's people on the bus who you've seen and you've gotten along with well, and you've been talking at the rest stops, you've been talking on the bus. You get to the hostel, and then you're maybe staying with them there, and so people get off and they're like, what are you guys going to do for dinner? Oh, we're thinking of meeting down here in the bar and then going for dinner. I was like, yep, great, would love to join you. Okay, great. So then you go out with the kind of people that you meet, that you've met on BusAbout that day. Often, or almost always, there are free walking tours from the hostels. So again, you'll see BusAbout people the next day on the free walking tour. So you can kind of hang out and make friends with these people. And then I found that I really like to explore a city by myself for like a day or two. I don't like to have, I won't stick with people all the time. I really like to do my own thing and other people do their own thing. But then in the afternoons, if you come back together and you're like, oh, what are you doing for dinner tonight? We're thinking of going here. Do you want to come? Yeah, I'd love to. That would be great. And then people leave because people stay longer, or people stay shorter amounts of time to different. But then often you can meet up with people that you've met on BusAbout in a few cities' time, because they've spent longer in one, you've spent shorter in another, and you get on a bus, and it's really cool to see people that you met a few cities back and be like, hi, how are you? What have you done? What are you doing? So, and then you go out and have like another drink, or you'll do something together. So it's it's just really, it's really fun, and it's really nice. And I 100% recommend it. Everything you can book through the website. There is the My Trip on the website, which is not the best. It is a little bit buggy. I did have some issues with it, and I had a computer. Like if I had just had my iPhone and I'd been trying to use MyTrip, I think it would be a nightmare. But the guides on the bus also have a handheld computer where they can talk to you and they can see everyone's all their passengers' itineraries and things like that, and they can book segments on the bus for you. So I took advantage of that a couple of times, because the other thing is you can change it whenever you want. Just because you book a segment doesn't mean it's locked in. Yes, you booked yourself a seat, so that yes, if there's busier segments, at least you've got a seat on the bus rather than having nothing. But you can change that whenever you want. And that was the other thing about BusAbout, is that my itinerary, before I left, I was like, okay, I think I'm going to spend 3 days here, 2 days here, 5 days here, this is how it's going to be. Yep, that's it, that's what I'm going to do. And then when I got on the road, no, it's not like that. I changed my mind. I want to do different, stuff, and I want to stay longer, or I want to go out here, or I want to go to this different town, or oh, that little town, that's actually quite good. Okay, yeah, I'd like to stop there instead. Or oh no, I don't want to stop there. I've heard that that's really shit. It's raining. I'm done with the rain. I want to move on. So you can change, and I found that often when I booked the accommodation through MyTrip, if it was either at the recommended hostel or one of the others that BusAbout suggests, but it's not the pick-up drop-off location, yes, you pay a deposit to hold the hotel room or the hostel room through the MyTrip website, but it was really easy for me to email the hostels, because the email address and all the details and stuff are also in the MyTrip portal. I would just email the hostel and say, hi, I'm with BusAbout. I booked through BusAbout. This is my booking number. I need to please change my booking because I'm not going to be there for another 3 days. So I just need to move my whole booking. And every hostel that I emailed was like, yep, okay, fine. So I didn't lose my deposit, and I didn't. It just shifted. The same as if I wanted to stay longer in a city, or cancel somewhere completely. If I cancelled somewhere completely, I think that I did lose my deposit. But if I wanted to stay longer in a city and I'd booked like 2 nights and I wanted to stay for another 2 or 3, I would just email the hostel before I got there and say, can I please extend this booking? Again, book through BusAbout, this is my reference number. And yeah, they always email back, but yep, that's fine, no problem. So yeah, it just made everything so easy and fun, and it gave me so much time to just focus on what I wanted to do. I didn't have to worry about it. So yeah, so I'm a little bit sad that that's over, and now I have to work a bit harder, especially in the countries that I've got coming up, like US and Canada. But I am getting back on a BusAbout tour, because I'm doing the Shamrocker through Ireland, through Northern Ireland. And that is not the same as the European BusAbout, where you get on and off. It's a whole tour. But I'm looking forward to that, so that'll be really good. I've done Haggis 2 years ago through Scotland, and that was really good, wild and sexy. So that was really good. So yeah, but this bracelet, I'm sad to take it off, because it's so much more than just being on the. It's more than a ticket. So everyone that gets on BusAbout gets one of these bracelets, and some people wear them, some people don't. The majority of people do, and it's just really good as an identifier that you're a part of something. That you're a part of a group, or you're a part of something where it's not just you. And I found as a solo traveller that sometimes it can be lonely, and you can be a little bit lost and not quite sure what you're doing, and not freaking out or nervous or anything like that. Just by yourself. And with this wristband, I found that by having it on my wrist and just being in the middle of a city, or like when I was in Munich at the World Cup, I had my wristband on and I just had my hand sitting on the table, and thousands and thousands of people at the World Cup final in Munich. I had one girl come up to me and she was like, "Oh, there you are." How she found me, I do not know. She was an Australian girl. I met her on BusAbout. We'd travelled a few cities together, or we'd kind of met each other in a few cities, and then we got on, and then she'd like stay behind, or she got on and I stayed behind. And I was like, "Oh, how on earth did you find me?" And she said to me, "I saw your wristband on you, sitting on the table. I was on the other side of the beer garden, looking around. I don't know anyone here. I was just looking for a seat. Saw your hand sitting on the table with the orange wristband. Looked up, realised it was you, and thought, oh my god, I found someone I know." And that has happened to me so many times. So just by having this on my wrist and this identifier of this orange being on my hand when I walk through a crowd, I don't even realise it was on me. Walk through a crowd, walk through a city, someone would come up to me and go, "Hi, are you a BusAbout person?" And be like, "Yeah, hi." Like, "Oh, thank goodness, I don't know where I am, I don't know what I'm doing, where is the hostel, are you staying there, what are you doing?" And so you're suddenly a part of this larger community of travellers that have that are BusAbout. And it's really good. So like if I'm at a hostel waiting, or I'm at a location, no one else is around me, I'm waiting for the bus, it's the middle of the day, it's not a fun location, it's a middle of the day location, I'm like, oh no, shit, am I in the right place? I can't see anyone else BusAbout. And then you see someone come towards you with the orange wristband on their wrist. Oh yes, BusAbout people, great. I'm in the right place. And I immediately go up and talk to them because we have the same thing in common. We're about to be on the same bus. Almost always they're Australians, and Australians just talk to each other overseas all the time. You hear an Aussie accent, all Australians talk to each other. It's great. So yeah, so being on BusAbout and having the wristband does make you feel like you belong to something that's bigger than you, and it's not just you. And so I would, even when I would be having a bad day and I would not really like a city, which didn't happen very often, but sometimes you have bad moments. You just think, oh my god, what is this? What is going on? Or just something has not gone your way. I would look at this wristband and think, it's okay. Yeah, I'm gonna be on the bus. I'm gonna be back on the bus in a couple of days. It's fine. And it would kind of also be my kind of a reassurance for me that if something was really bad, I could log on to the website and I could be out of there the next day, or the day after, or whatever. I could be out of there very quickly. I could change my booking, get on a bus, and get out of there. And so that's really good. Like it's a real safety, sense of security thing for me, I found. Just knowing that I wasn't completely alone, which has been great. So yeah, it is with a lot of sadness that I take it off. And be done with it. Yes, I could leave it on. I could, but I'm going into a new section of my travelling. I'm away from BusAbout now. It was awesome. So that's it. I'm trying to think what else I can say about BusAbout. I just was so different than the Greek Islands. I did do a Greek Islands BusAbout review, and it's just not a guided tour. It's literally hop on, hop off, freedom, freedom without being alone. That's it. So yeah, I think that's it. I think that's my BusAbout review. So so like I said, I'm in Paris. I will do a video journal of Paris because I love it. I love it. I love Paris. I love France. I absolutely love it. I wanna stay here. I wanna live here. I wanna just stay in Montmartre. Found Moulin Rouge. It's just down the road. Yeah, I absolutely love it. So, so that's it. So I will video journal soon about Paris. But yeah, BusAbout. Hop on. It's amazing. Do it. Do it. Do it now. Do it. No, not do it right now. Do it tomorrow. Do it next week. Get on. Do it. It's great.